Whether you're an operator, serviceman, or maintenance man, machine care and safety are largely a matter of reading the signals. Many of the signals are posted on or built into the equipment. Others are spelled out in maintenance, operation, service, and safety guides and manuals. Read them or weep. Most welders read the book a long time ago, but the problems we can't see are apt to be forgotten. Ralph has done the right thing, clamped his ground on the piece he's welding, so the electric current doesn't have to jump any gaps.
About done here?
But now he forgets. To weld on the other side, he leaves the ground clamp in place. What he's forgotten is that electric current takes the path of least resistance. And one of the easier paths is to arc through the final drive bearing. The damage Ralph is doing is invisible to him. It may be a while before noise warns of bearing trouble. The operator hears it, but then it seems to go away.
I heard a little grinding noise there for a while, but don't hear it anymore.
Oh, it's probably just a rock that worked itself out, don't you imagine?
Yeah, possible.
It would have been easy and cost-saving to check for metal particles on the magnetic drain plug, but nobody did. And by the time the noise and vibration again warn of bearing trouble, the gear train completely failed.
These are some of the cuttings.
In the shop, they'll know what Ralph's welding did.
Let's take a look at your bearings. This is the bearing that's been damaged.
The arc damaged the race and roller assembly, causing eventual breakdown. The early signal was there in metal clinging to the magnetic drain plug or, on some machines, to the strainer or filter. But the signal was ignored. Now it's a major repair job. One that grounding on the piece being welded would have prevented, and early detection would have minimized.
Yeah, parts department, please.
Carl Jackwith has a different problem.
Yeah, hi, Bob. This is Carl. Hey, remember that grader I was telling you about? Yeah, can you give me an exchange engine out here? I don't care if it isn't painted. Well, we gotta get that grader back on the job. Yeah, what do you say?
Putting in an exchange engine is costly, but sometimes it's the most economical way to solve a problem. Carl knows what he's doing. By the time young Jim comes around, the engine is installed.
All right, we'll put the coolant back in. She'll be ready to go. Bill and I still gotta go over and check on that loader, all right? Sure you know how to fill a cooling system?
Sure, huh?
All right, well, the maintenance guide's in the truck if you need it. Hurry it up and give us a hand, will you?
To Jim, it seems amateurish to be looking up a simple thing like adding coolant. He knows about putting in cooling system inhibitor for corrosion protection. All he has to do is add the water with it. The lubrication and maintenance guide has another signal that Jim hasn't read. Filling at over 19 liters or 5 gallons per minute can cause air pockets in the cooling system. Jim pours the water to it, remembering that Carl told him to hurry up. When Jim closes up, the hose and radiator are full, but air is trapped in the cooling system. Jim warms up the engine. Not up to operating temperatures as the guide specifies, but fairly warm. Then he's off to join Carl on the loader repair. Later, the new engine seems to be working great, but the inadequate supply of coolant gradually vaporizes and turns to steam. Now the operator will discover the engine has a cracked head.
This is Carl again. Hey, I need another exchange engine or a rebuild for that grader. I know what it's going to cost. I just bought one yesterday.
You want to see a mess I've been investigating? Come over here with me. This machine went up in flames. Here's why. See what's left of this battery cable? When the machine was being repaired, somebody cut the cable instead of disconnecting it to save time. Then later, he just spliced the copper together and taped the cable. The tape rubbed through, leaving copper wire touching metal. The resulting arc ignited oil and debris, and the machine burned. The protective coverings on electrical cable and wire are there for good reason. They shouldn't be violated. Also, when reassembling, always follow the course of the original wire. If you're not putting it through the same clamps or locations, it's a signal you're off course. The same thing applies if you must remove shields or guards. They're there to prevent flammable fluids from getting on hot parts. So always put shields and guards back where they were. You don't have to guess. Maintenance and operator's guides come with the machine, and complete service manuals are available from your dealer. In addition, CAT service trucks have this information available on microfiche, so there's never a need to guess about procedures or replacement parts.
Sometimes a problem results from not using the right parts. Sometimes from human mistakes. And sometimes from a combination of both. The first mistake.
Found me a hose, huh?
Well, I couldn't find the right one. I made up this temporary hose for you.
You think it'll hold up to the hydraulic pressure?
Well, I think it will till I can get back with the right hose.
Well, let's put her on. Let's get this baby going.
Okay, we'll see what happens.
Turned out he was right. It did hold. For a while.
I've got the right hose here, Brad. You suppose we ought to stop and put it on?
No, this one seems to be doing all right. Let's just go the rest of the day with it.
You sure about that?
Yeah, I think it'll be fine.
Okay, it's up to you.
That was the second mistake. But later that afternoon, well, let's see what happened.
Suppose it's time to put this hose on now, Brad?
An operator can make his own mistakes, or he can have them forced upon him. Jerry is making his own, a not uncommon one. Till today, he's been running an electric drive truck, one of those which can be shifted directly from forward to reverse at very low ground speeds. Now he has a mechanical transmission rather than an electric motor. But Jerry hasn't read the operation guide, which calls for a full stop before changing directions. He's doing what was okay on the electric truck, dropping it into reverse without stopping first. That noise Jerry can't hear yet is the transmission tearing out. A good truck is about to go down. The repair cost alone will run into thousands. The operator who knows his machine, a guy like Barney Nolte, is handy to have around. After this tractor was loaded aboard a beam trailer, what someone did, and did correctly, was tighten the tracks so they wouldn't sag and drag on the road. Now, at the other end of the trip, it is driven off the trailer with the track still tight, which is okay. The maintenance guide says the tracks should now be loosened to normal adjustment before operation. But nobody thinks of doing that. Later, Barney's all set to take the machine onto the job. Now, an overly tight track is trouble in the making. It can damage seals, pins, bushings, and track components. With tracks and undercarriage, we're talking about big repair dollars here. And the trouble is about to start. But as Barney puts the machine to work, he catches the signal: lack of power. He doesn't waste time guessing. He stops.
What's the matter?
I'm getting the power loss. No wonder. Look how tight these tracks are.
Oh, boy. Dave, let's get these tracks adjusted. And I'm sure glad you caught that.
Signals. Read them, and you're a good man to have around. These are good men, too. Moving a tractor at night can be dangerous business. The secure signals are there. Safety linkages and tie-down points are identified by different colors. But Ken, the driver, is under pressure to deliver in a hurry. And he has a date on the CB.
You haven't got it chained down yet.
I don't need to change. I'm only going down the road a little bit.
If you say so.
Breaker 19. Hello out there. This is Flying Star coming back to sweet and nice over there at Rusty's pit stop. Come on. Come on.
Hey, Flying Star, who you calling sweet and nice? You know my handle's sweet on ice. Come on.
Just a little slip of the tongue there, Sleet. But there ain't nothing cold about you, lovely lady. Nothing at all. Come on.
You got a real gift of gab there, Flying Star. Anyway, what you got on your mind?
Now, we'll talk about that when I get there, Sleet. I'm flying lighter every minute. I got it.
You got what?
The loader.
Well, where in the hell is it?
People have been cautioned about batteries ever since they were invented. Battery gas is explosive. Making a spark in a battery compartment can be as dangerous as lighting a match in a gas-filled room. Never allow a spark near a battery. That's why, when boosting, we're told to connect the positive lead first, and then connect the negative lead a considerable distance away from the battery being boosted. Every year, hundreds of automobile and equipment users get careless with batteries for the last time. Dick Raymond was an untrained kid who hung around his father's outfit sometimes doing odd jobs. He could weld a little, change a filter, or charge a battery, or so he and his father believed. At least he did know enough to wear safety glasses. What he's going to do now is use a battery cart to start a machine with a dead battery. All instructions say to match your booster voltage with the voltage of the battery. But Dick has only seen his father hook the clamps on and thinks that's all there is to it. He ignores the information on the caution tag and fails to observe the size of the battery. It is a 12-volt battery connected in series with another 12-volt battery on the opposite side of the machine. Instead of running the current through both, Dick's going to boost only this one. Boosting any battery starts the chemical reaction that sets off hydrogen gas, the same explosive gas that blew up the dirigible Hindenburg. Dick's going to compound that action with excessive voltage. Trouble is, he's using the 24-volt connection on the battery card. Purely and simply, young Dick Raymond doesn't know what he's doing. So all signals are off. For operations and maintenance, the signals are there. The prescribed walk-around inspection will forestall many unpredictable problems. Cleaning the machine is another form of preventive maintenance. Accumulated trash must be cleaned out regularly, particularly where hot metal or a spark could start combustion. However, it does no good to inspect a machine as Jim Hahn is doing, and then have your observations ignored.
Hey, Art. Yes? Looks like we're about to have a crack in this draft arm here. That's almost invisible. Why don't you run it and watch it? Okay. Thank you, Jim. Okay.
They did for a day. Nothing happened. The equipment got dirtier and dirtier. Nobody cleaned it. In a few days, it was a case of out of sight, out of mind. Signals, read 'em or weep. This one was covered up, and the welding that was needed went undone. The thing about cracks is that as they get bigger, they go faster. And this one was at a high stress point.